Alright, good day everyone. So today we're gonna do another toy review. So this is the SH Figuarts Masked Rider Black, or in Japan it's popularly known as Kamen Rider Black. So just a quick introduction about Masked Rider Black. So this figure or this character was actually very popular here in the Philippines back in the 90s or back in the late 80s actually. So it's one of those characters that I grew up watching as a kid, and when we play with our playmates, it's usually one of those characters that gets picked uh, when you role play basically. So yeah, so Kamen Rider Black is the 8th installment, if I'm not mistaken, from the Kamen Rider series. So it's not the first, but it's one of the first Kamen Riders that actually was released here in the Philippines. So growing up, it's one of those characters that every kid knows. So yeah, this is SH Figuarts. So you would expect that the articulation is really good since it's SH Figuarts. So that's what they're known for. So this is what the box looks like. So it's a thin box and typical SH Figuarts, and it has a picture of Kamen Rider Black on the front, some information, and then on the back you'll see well, they're gonna say that it's movable, and then there's a lot of details going on the body and on the on the face especially. And it also has a battle hopper. So battle hopper is Kamen Rider Black's motorcycle. So all Kamen Riders, they have their own sort of bike, motorcycle going on. So this is specifically Kamen Rider Black's motorcycle, which is called battle hopper. So it's another it's basically another toy altogether. So you have to buy it separately, so it doesn't come with a battle hopper, but it's cool actually. I had seen one. It's kind of difficult to purchase one of these nowadays. I wish they released a version that has both Kamen Rider and battle hopper. That would have been cool. But yeah, so these things are basically sold separately. So you have to buy Kamen Rider first, and then you have to buy the battle hopper separately. Out of the box, so I'm gonna open up the box real quick. So out of the box, this is what the figure comes with. So it comes with 4 extra sets of hands. So you have one that has a karate chop, you have one that has a closed fist like this one, you have one that has a relaxed hand, and then you have one that's doing the sign, and then you also have a pair of hands that fits very well with battle hopper if you have battle hopper with you. So basically that's what the figure comes with. Okay, so now let's look at the articulation on this figure. So since this is SH Figuarts, you would expect a lot of articulation on, and that's really what they're known for. So let's start off with the head. So the head is connected to the neck by a ball joint, so that way there's lots of movement on the head. And then the neck is connected to the rest of the body by a ball joint as well. So you see the motion on this thing is really good. Now let's go on and look at the shoulder. So the shoulders, you have some movement. So the arm is connected to the shoulder by a hinge, and then and on the other end is a ball joint. So you see there's also a lot of range of motion on here. And the nice thing about it is the shoulder caps are adjustable so that it doesn't look awkward when you're posing it. You see, you could close that gap with the shoulder pads. And then the arm is connected to the elbow by 2 hinges. And then so there's 2 hinges on both sides of the elbow. And then here you have a swivel. It's quite tough, but there's a swivel here, not here. It's on this side, so that you could pose it more dynamically. Okay. And then the wrist is connected by a ball joint. I mean, sorry, it's a hinge and a swivel combo. And then on the other side, on the fist, is a ball joint. So that's how you that's the articulation of on the upper body. On the torso, it's basically a ball joint here, and then you also have a ball joint that connects the torso to the waist. And then now to the legs, there's also a ball joint here, the one that connects the waist or the hips to the leg. And the nice thing about it, if you notice, there's a lot of those details on the joints, and that's very much consistent to what Masked Rider Black look in the series. So moving on the knee area, there's also a hinge on both sides of the knee, so that way you could make more dynamic poses here. So there's a hinge here, and then there's a hinge on the top as well. And then finally, on the feet or on the ankle, you have a hinge and a swivel combo. And on the toes, there's also a hinge. So that way you could make it pose, you could make the feet more dynamic in terms of posing it. Of course, you're not gonna pose it this way, but just to show you how fluid that joint can be. See? So again, so since it's SH Figuarts, that's really their forte, so to speak. Now, in terms of the details, so this figure is very much consistent to what Kamen Rider Black or Masked Rider Black look in the movie. The figure is kind of top heavy because of the head, and a lot of the details are basically on the head. So as you can see, the antennas are very much accurate with the series. The eyes, the way the eyes are molded and the eyes are done, are basically consistent with what's on the series and all that. Or even the lines, the colors, and the belt. So if you can see, the belt has most of the details there, if not all, which is also consistent with what it looks like in the series. And there's even some creases on the hip area, also consistent with how the series looks like, which is really good. So again, I'm not sure if I've mentioned this, but this is actually the second SH Figuarts figure that's released for Kamen Rider Black. So this one is the second release, and there's a third one that is released in 2021. So it has kind of more bulk or more heft in terms of the figure, and has more details on the arms or on the biceps compared to this figure. This figure kind of looks like more of like a teen, a teenager kind of look, and basically that that most recent Kamen Rider figure from SH Figuarts basically has more of like an adult, more muscular than this figure. So yeah, so that's basically what this figure looks like. Okay, so this is how the SH Figuarts Masked Rider Black stacks up against the SH Figuarts Ultraman, Ultra Act Ultraman. So as you can see, it's a tad smaller. It's right around the 5 1/4, almost 6 inches figure, while Ultraman here stands up at around 6.5 inches tall. So basically, that's how they compare to each other. Okay, so final thoughts on the figure. So yeah, I got this from Big Camera when I was in Tokyo for 2,780 yen. So that's roughly around 1,400 pesos. So it's a steal. It's basically a good deal if you ask me. And that was back in 2019. So uh, I didn't really know that they were gonna release a new one, which is the 2021 version. So question is, would you rather buy that 2021 version or get this one? For me, I'm not sure. I mean, I haven't really seen the latest figure. I don't have, excuse me, I don't have one per se. I don't even have the battle hopper, but and that's basically the thing that I want to consider. So if you have one of those battle hoppers and you're gonna get the 2021 version, I'm not sure if they will stack up well or if they will fit. In that case, I would get this figure. So if you have the battle hopper, I would get this figure. Otherwise, if you don't have the battle hopper and you just want the Masked Rider Black, I think the latest figure, or the 2021 version, is much better in terms of sculpt than this figure. So I would wait for that one. Now, I mean, I would get that one instead of this one. Also, I guess this comes to no surprise, especially if you are collecting Kamen Rider figures. You have to be careful with those antennas. So as much as you know this, I think this figure will stand up well, even if you play a little bit rough or you pose it without any hesitation or without care. I think it will last a bit long. It's just that, you know, those antennas, they will easily break on you. So I would be careful with those antennas. Also, I've found that there are some, you know, I don't know if you would call it defect, but you know, the seam lines on the figure is really obvious. So as you can see, it's not even consistent with the other side. Yeah, well, yeah, the other side actually looks worse. And so, you know, it kind of breaks the overall look of the figure, if you will. But other than that, it actually looks really good. I wish they could have made a better job on the molding on this one, on the plastic molding. But other than that, again, for the price, it's basically like 30 bucks. I think it's okay. So yeah, so I guess that's it for me, folks. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. Please give this video a thumbs up. And if you have any questions about the figure, any videos that you've seen on our channel, don't hesitate to comment down below. And you know, you could also reach us on Facebook if you have more questions, if you have some personal questions that you don't want to be I know, if you don't want to put a public comment, then you could always send us a message on Facebook, The Hobbyist. So yeah, that's it for me, folks. Thank you guys for watching, And I will see you guys soon. Peace.